There's more than one reference to a potter's field in the Bible. Jeremiah is said to have said, "They took the 30 silver coins, the amount the people of Israel had agreed to pay him being Judas Iscariot, and used the money to buy the potter's field, as the Lord commanded me." Zechariah 11:12-13. In the book of Matthew, we learn of Judas Iscariot after his betrayal. Matthew 27:3-8. Quote, "I have sinned in betraying innocent blood." But they said, "What is that to us? Look thou to it." And casting down the pieces of silver on the temple, he departed and went and hanged himself with a halter. But the chief priest, having taken the pieces of silver, said, "This is not lawful to put them on the carbona, because it is the price of blood." And after they had consulted together, they brought him to the potter's field, to be a burying place for strangers. For this field was called Haseldama, that is, the field of blood, and is to this day. This is in a floodplain, and this is the Potter's Field, so you know a lot of these people probably don't have family. So their stones are easily covered. Least I can do is make it so that they're readable while I'm here. This is Howard Lester. He was born in 1886 and he passed in 1970. This is Frances Kraft. She was also born in 1880 and again, no, not Frances, Frankie also died in 1971. I can't even read this one. Goodness. Roy Harris. Oh my goodness. 1926 is when he was born. 1971 is when he passed. So there are several. The placements in the cemetery actually have named plates is unusual and very nice to see. Well, this is an entire family. We've got here at the Potter's Field, E.W. Gregor and family. Be thou fruitful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Here we have Mary Taylor, born in 1859, passed in 1905? Well, that's interesting because this Potter's Field was started in 1960. So this placement predates it being a Potter's Field. This indicates it was a cemetery before it was a Potter's Field. There's a dove and an arch. Someone Jones. This person died in 1911. My goodness. So this was a cemetery before it was a Potter's Field. Wow. It's bad enough that people are buried in potter's fields. They're already lost. They're lost to the world. They're lost in the potter's field. And then when flooding takes over, it's so easy to lose them again. We can't allow that to happen. When people transition, they become all of our ancestors. Mr. Leroy Maxwell was born in 1922 and passed in 1977. And he's laid to rest here in the Carnal Cemetery in DeLand, Florida, the Potter's Field. That's the fifth veteran here at the Potter's Field. Look at this expanse right here. Up to the next set. It's a low area, it's a floodplain. And you see some of those stones have been altered. Are there bodies under here? Or was there some reason that this area was abandoned? Very distressing. So I've seen a lot of these here in the Potter's Field. A stone with just the passing date. Now, sometimes that means that people don't know. There might not have been any records for the person. But in a case like this, you've got the original placement from the funeral home. The funeral home will first place these, and then I haven't done the research yet, but whoever, the city, the county, I don't know, the hospital was paying for these stones. Here's KJ Powell. Looks like she was born in 1917 and passed in 1993. But when the stone was ordered, they didn't have that information. Interesting thought. So we're here in the corner of the Carnal Cemetery, the Potter's Field here, DeLand, Florida. one of those big storms took down a tree. This is not the only cemetery in DeLand where a tree has caused some damage. I filmed a couple. Interestingly, in this corner, we have people leaving tribute. So that would indicate to me that these are their ancestors, or they're people like me who just come to cemeteries and pay attention. This person was Stephen, was only in his 30s. Can tell by the original card placed by the funeral home before the stone was ordered. Cloud Simpson. Oh, unfortunately, all that information has been lost. And there's a stone under here that I can't get to. Carolyn someone. Oh, well, all I can see is that she was born in 1919. And then there's a stone back here. This is Katie. This is Katie Ford. She was born in 1907. And she passed 1990, what is that? She was born in 1907 and she passed in, oh God, I can't really get in here. It's under a tree. 1996, Katie Ford. Oh. Yeah, let's see these back here. There may be some under there. Can't know. Oh, goodness. This is George Ulrich, 1919 to 1986. Wilson Brown, 1927 to 1988. Ugh. George Mullaney, 48 to 88. Cornelia MacArthur, 50 to 96. Whew. I'm sure there are several bodies under there, sadly. Yeah, right here. Right here, there's one I can get to. Ryan Eldon Staggers, 1950 to 1998. What a shame. And it's a potter's field. There is no expectation that this will be cleaned. Oh, here we have another child. Demetrius Boone, born and died in 1998. It seems they have placed the infants and the children on the periphery, though that is not exclusively the case. I have found some children in the middle, and these simple concrete markers with a number that's hard to read now, or for those that for whatever reason didn't get stones, naming stones. That person was only 19. So I've come to the back. I started in the back and I've worked my way to the front, Carnal Cemetery. And this last row are all these simple concrete markers with what once were numbers, but they're no longer legible. In this area that is prone to flooding.
Oh, here's one with a, oh, but that's not legible either. So that would have been the placement from the funeral home. This whole row, until you get to the fallen tree, are all these placements that you really can't read the numbers to anymore, which is very sad. And again, because it's a floodplain, as you can see, the stones are very disrupted. There's a whole area there where there don't seem to be any placements, but there well could be. They just could be covered. If they were just the flush stones, they're easily covered. There's Ramona Carter. Someone has been leaving flowers for Ramona Carter. She was only not even 50. And you see George Starkle's stone has been completely knocked off kilter. He was just 18 or 19. Infant right there. So this is a lovely place for them to be resting. Carnal Cemetery, DeLand, Florida.